I just wanted to take a little bit to kind of show you our new conference room meeting space. Also doubles as our showroom. We're able to bring samples out and have this space be available for client meetings, meetings with architects, designers. For a really long time, this space was kind of just an extension of the workshop. It was a little bit quieter, but it wasn't a nice, warm, inviting space. And so this fall and winter, we put quite a bit of time and energy into bringing this up to the level of the kind of work we do. Instead of just having bits and pieces of mock-ups and samples, we actually have a meeting space that is at the level of the work that we do. So it's full of a bunch of cool little quirks and features that I really enjoy, and I'll kind of walk you through some of those. So Becca, my wife, is a designer, and she came up with this entire plan for the conference room and also the rest of the offices. And then someday we'll get into phase 2, which will be my office. But for now, it's the space that we all share. We have solid white oak fronts, a rift white oak veneer, niche back here, all that set back. We redid all the insulation in the ceiling and in the walls. These are interior walls, so these traditionally wouldn't have insulation in them, but because we have the noisy machines and shop running out there, you might be able to hear just barely the CNC running. In previous days, that would be kind of like making your molars vibrate in your head. But we actually insulated all these. We put a heavy mass-loaded sound dampening membrane between the drywall and the studs. So there's an even further level of sound dampening. And then we put all new doors with jam-actuated closing sealers. So when we close all the doors, the dust is down, the sound is down, and we can really be isolated from all of the noise and banging and clanking and screeching that happens out in the shop where we're actually making stuff. Really makes this space a lot warmer and a lot more peaceful to have a quiet conversation without all the machines just humming and vibrating everything all over you. We're now able to have a really nice Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and like Google Chat video conferencing solution. So with our TV and webcam and a really nice mic, we can meet in here with all of the team members here who are relevant to the project, meet with architect, designer, owner, builder, whoever else needs to be in on the call. We got a whiteboard. We can really quickly flush through designs and problem solving and options. And rather than doing a whole set of drawings, sending them off, red line, resubmit, we can, in video, in real time, kind of iterate through a bunch of the different options and get to a final product for the stair or the railing or the door way faster than through traditional revise and resubmit processes. One of the other features that I really like is now we have like a hospitality area. We've got the espresso machine, coffee, tea. We have an integrated mini fridge, so we've got water, sparkling water. I get a lot of joy out of that space every day, and I know the rest of the team does. We primarily built it for clients, but we're the ones who end up using it most of the time. And I just think, we spend so much of our waking lives at work, and our workspace should be elevated and be a really enjoyable, peaceful, warm space to exist in. So that's kind of what we were trying to achieve here, and I think we did it. One of the cool features here is that all these doors are actually solid oak. Usually a cabinet door would be made in some sort of a sheet good with a veneer on the front and then edge banded, but these are actually solid. And you can see that because we had to rabbet out and inlay cross-laminated stiffening pieces to kind of counteract the forces. When you have a panel that's this big, it will tend to warp. And you can kind of see, maybe from the angle there, it's starting to curve a little bit. And that's just part of what happens when you make a cabinet door out of solid oak. That's actually the reason that we have shaker-style raised panel doors, is because in days long past, before we had sheet goods, you couldn't make a single large flat panel and expect it not to warp. And so that's actually the origin of stile and rail and floating raised panel cabinetry, where you have the stiles, rails, and the cabinet front all floating in these 3 or 5 pieces that are put together. But we did these in solid because we wanted something hard wearing. We're okay with it kind of moving and being a little funky over time. This is, after all, a design workshop. And even though this is our conference room meeting space, I think all the materials that we have need to be durable and robust and hard wearing and beautiful all at the same time. So that also leads me then to the countertops. The countertops are all solid 1/4" 304 stainless steel that are mill finished. So all we did was clean these up with Scotch-Brite and some industrial degreaser, and then put a little bit of cleaner on them, and that's it. So these are basically, as they come off of the rolling mill at the steel plant, this is the texture, this is the finish that is on here. So they can get scratched up, they can get beat up. You know, we've got sanders, we can restore the finish. They're not gonna rust, but it is something that's a little bit more industrial, a little bit more hard wearing. But by putting that kind of softer, non-woven abrasive, like satin finish on it, it kind of elevates it a bit. But these are still like rugged, raw, basically just from the mill stainless countertops. And I think they turned out fantastic. They are elevated, but still are incredibly hard wearing. Like these are kind of, these could be workbenches. They don't have to just be for a kitchen. One other feature we did is we took our existing conference table and then put in a data port in here. So we kind of mimicked our inlay here across the crack. This is also a riff on our Roanoke bottle opener. So we have that shape mimicked here, kind of doing a little bit of talking back and forth with the geometry. This opens up, it's got our HDMI, USB, and power. So if anybody comes in here with their laptop, we can very easily just plug that in and have it ported right on the TV. Really makes collaboration and meetings work really well. And then that data port goes down through a cable into this channel that we cut in the floor. So that was a big, messy process, but now we have something that's really tidy and clean and allows us to have a space that works really well and is really beautiful. So really excited to host you here. We built this space to meet with clients, and so far it's just been nothing but wonderful, and I'm excited to host you.